Live from the Al Roker Television Studio, this is WTOP 10 News at 10. Good evening and thanks for joining us. I'm Alan Wenger.
And I'm Christina Deem. Tonight's top story, Syracuse University Chancellor Nancy Cantor says that a freshman student, Marianne Guppenberger, has unexpectedly died in a fall.
Guppenberger was a member of the College of Arts and Sciences and was originally from Taiwan. Neither the police nor the university have commented on the circumstances regarding Guppenberger's Saturday morning death. Investigators are looking into an early morning fire at a Jefferson County lumber company.
And a car crash in Florence last night has left one man dead. We will have more on these stories in just a minute, but first we'll take a quick look at your outdoor weather with meteorologist Michael Paney.
All right, thanks a lot, guys. And stepping outside tonight, well, it's clear and present, and well, really nice conditions throughout the whole weekend as we saw sunny skies and mild temperatures today. I'm expecting those temperatures and that sun to stick around, especially for tomorrow morning, but I'm tracking some unsettled weather as we head towards Tuesday and really through the rest of the week. I'll have more on that coming up with a full look at our weather and the Storm Team 10 5-day forecast, but for right now, let's send it back inside to the news guys.
Investigators are looking into the cause of an early morning fire that took place at a lumber company in Jefferson County this morning. The fire broke out just after 5 a.m. at Berry Brothers Lumber Company on Route 11 in the town of Lorain and destroyed most of the loading dock area and a large portion of their inventory. This isn't the first fire at Berry Brothers. The company was rebuilt after it was devastated back in 2008.
Oneida County Sheriff's deputies are investigating a deadly car crash in the town of Florence. The crash occurred around 7:20 on Saturday night and took the life of 55-year-old Stephen Spellacy. According to Oneida County Sheriff's Office, Spellacy's car struck a tree on Redfield Road, overturned, and smashed into a utility pole.
Well, if you were in Syracuse this afternoon, you probably got an answer. Strong winds were felt all around the region today, causing damage in downtown Syracuse. Debris was flown off of the buildings on South Salina Street, causing the police to close off part of the road so everything could be cleaned up. No injuries were reported.
The cause of two fires in Rome are still under investigation. The first fire occurred at 10:40 Friday night on James Street. Extensive renovations were going on at the building where the fire occurred, and the flames spread quickly. A neighboring building was also damaged, but no one was hurt. The second fire happened on Dwight Drive about an hour later. The house suffered serious damage, and while no people were injured, a dog and two cats died in the blaze. There's still no word on what caused either fire.
An accident Saturday night left one person dead in the town of Croghan. Lewis County Sheriff deputies said Sam Demo, aged 57, was bringing his wife to the hospital when he lost control of his car on Elfie Falls Road. The car rolled over 3 times before coming to a stop and threw Demo from the vehicle. His wife was taken to the hospital and sustained minor injuries.
According to Syracuse attorney Brianne Carbono, New York State has been seeing an unexpected increase in divorces, and Carbono believes that it's a direct reflection of New York's no-fault divorce law. The law was enacted in October of 2010 and states that couples no longer have to prove cruel and inhuman treatment to end their marriage. All they need to do is show that their relationship has broken down irretrievably for at least 6 months. Carbono also believes that the law has contributed to 2011's region-wide increase in divorce numbers.
Open Mic Night has become an entertainment staple at SUNY Oswego, giving students an opportunity to read, sing, act, and for people like me, attempt stand-up comedy. Tomorrow night, in honor of National Poetry Month, an open mic poetry reading night will be taking place for those who appreciate the fine art of poetry. The event, being sponsored by the OLS Writing Center, will be held in the Campus Center Auditorium from 7 to 9 p.m.
The Tyler Art Gallery will be featuring 2 art exhibits, Imagining Cuba and Projections, starting Tuesday, April 9th, and running from 11 a.m. to 3 p.m. Projections is a SUNY Oswego Spring Master of Arts exhibition, and Imagining Cuba includes the works of 10 prominent Cuban and international photographers whose subject is Cuba. The exhibit is free, and parking for those without a campus parking sticker is $1. For more information, call 312-2113. The exhibits will run weekly on Tuesdays until April 23rd.
Coming up after the break, numerous cases of hepatitis A broke out in a New York City restaurant.
And we'll take another look at your weather with meteorologist Michael Paney.
program, helping you achieve your goals with a customized curriculum developed with flexibility in mind. Take classes year-round, full or part-time in Oswego, online or at the Metro Center in downtown Syracuse. More information is available online or by calling 315-312-2911.
Last night, Lori Capricuzzi scored 2 goals on Alia Brian Love. And
Joe, get out. Adam, you're in.
Lori Korpakovsky scored 2 goals on Ilya Brizgalov. Got it!
I gotta say, I am very happy to be seeing the sun these last couple days.
Yeah, we really had a great weekend here in Oswego.
Is the snow gonna come back?
I don't think so. I don't
Okay.
think so. Maybe some raindrops as we head towards the end of the week, but I say for this weekend it was excellent, and you know, I hope everybody really got outside to enjoy it. We captured a great picture this evening from atop Skycam 10 from Fennell Hall. Look at that sunset over Lake Ontario. Just a beautiful day. Again, I hope everybody had a chance to get out there and enjoy it. And as we look at our TOP top weather headlines, well, the sun's going to stick around, especially for the beginning of the work week. So a sunny start for tomorrow. As we head into tomorrow evening, though, that's when I'm thinking showers are going to begin to move in. And I think it's going to remain unsettled, especially as we head into the midweek. Right now, for tonight, partly cloudy and cool. So if you're heading out tomorrow morning, we're going to see temperatures bottom out at about 41 degrees. So probably want to grab a jacket if you head out tomorrow morning. For our regional radar, right now, most of the showers have pushed off to our east. And again, I'm not expecting any raindrops tonight in central New York. So we're going to be pretty clear and calm for at least tonight. Though I'm watching the system right here, this low pressure system over the upper Midwest, and that's going to push to our east, and that's what's going to bring with it a chance of some rain showers tomorrow and even a better chance into tomorrow night. For the setup for tomorrow, again, we have that system that moved to our east today, and I'm watching this system as it moves towards our area. The front lead of the system is going to move through the area on tomorrow evening. And with it, it's going to bring some showers, especially during the rush hour commute in the evening. Planning out your day tomorrow at 8 a.m. It's going to be high and dry for most of central New York. But as we head towards our noon hour lunchtime, we're going to watch that system begin to move through the area. And even more so as we head towards 5 p.m. So whether you're picking up the kids from soccer practice or coming home from work, you might be dodging a few showers, especially west towards Buffalo. And by 8 p.m., that's what I'm thinking. Most of the area is going to be under that rain. So if you're heading out tomorrow evening, probably going to want to grab an umbrella. For tomorrow, again, clouds and sun, evening showers. 56, so it is going to be mild. But again, probably going to dodge a few showers as we head towards tomorrow evening. In detail for tomorrow, sunny start, but cool, 42 degrees. By lunchtime, 49s, but those clouds begin to roll in. And by 5 p.m., our evening commute, 56 degrees, and again, a soggy evening heading into Tuesday. For our 5-day forecast, again, rain Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. Temperatures in the mid-50s. Friday, though, temperatures cool, and we still remain a little bit unsettled heading into the weekend.
Well, it may be raining this next week, but I will take rain over snow any day of the week. So for me, there was no bad news in that report, especially because it's already snowed once in April.
It's true. All right, thanks, Mike.
Yep, thank you, Mike. Turning to state news now, Governor Andrew Cuomo has nominated a justice from the state's mid-level appellate division to New York's highest court. Justice Sheila Abdul Salam will be the first African-American woman on the 7-member Court of Appeals if confirmed by the state Senate. She was amongst 7 candidates recommended by a state commission that found her qualified. She would replace Judge Theodore Jones Jr., who died in November.
A scary situation is developing in New York for people who ate at the West Village's Alta restaurant. The New York City Health Department warned Friday that as many as 450 people may have been exposed to the hepatitis A virus. Patrons who visited the trendy upscale Alta restaurant between March 23rd and April 2nd are at risk. Now, the restaurant is cooperating with the investigation and said some 3,000 people visited the eatery during the dates in question. The hepatitis A virus is an infectious disease of the liver. Customers at the restaurant who may have been exposed after eating a dessert made by an infected worker.
2 Catholic priests accused of wrongdoing have been declared unfit for service by the Philadelphia Archdiocese and will no longer be allowed to minister. The 2 priests, Joseph J. Gallagher and Mark S. Gaspard, are amongst 26 priests who were suspended in 2011 after an investigation into allegations of misconduct and abuse of children. With nearly 1.5 million members, the Philadelphia Archdiocese is one of the largest in the nation.
According to Senator Chuck Schumer, the Gang of 8 senators working on a comprehensive immigration reform bill have included a pathway to citizenship, and the bill could be presented this week. Schumer said the staffs of the 4 Republican and 4 Democratic senators are working 12 hours a day to work all of the past 3 months' agreements into legislation. Schumer added that, quote, "All of us have said that there will be no agreement until the 8 of us agree to a big specific bill, but hopefully we can get that done by the end of the week."
It was a deadly weekend in Afghanistan for Americans.
Ian Demling has your update on the weekend violence.
GOP 10 News. I'm standing here outside of Sheldon Hall here at SUNY Oswego with some very disturbing news from overseas. 6 Americans were killed this past weekend in Afghanistan, including 2 civilians, 3 U.S. servicemen, and a 25-year-old U.S. diplomat. They were killed while delivering books to an Afghan school when a suicide bomber struck their convoy in Zabul, Afghanistan on Saturday. Among the deceased was Anne Smedingoff, a 25-year-old U.S. diplomat. Secretary of State John Kerry said she was, quote, vivacious, smart, and capable. Smedingoff's parents said she was doing what she loved when she passed away. Kerry also made an emotional speech on Sunday to U.S. diplomats stationed in Istanbul, Turkey. In other very sad news, 11 Afghan children were killed on Sunday as part of a joint military operation by Afghan and NATO forces. So, as with all of the tragedy in the past weeks, we're hoping to see a brighter future in the coming weeks over in Afghanistan. Reporting to you live from Sheldon Hall, I'm Ian Dembling. We'll take it back to you in the studio.
Thank you, Ian. And coming up after the break, we'll take a look at sports with Kyle Sheehan.
But first, here's a look at your late night menu.
The Oswego MBA program, helping you achieve your goals with a customized curriculum developed with flexibility in mind. Take classes year-round, full or part-time in Oswego, online or at the Metro Center in downtown Syracuse. More information is available online or by calling 315-312-2911.
Ever wondered why we came back from spring break just to go home again for Easter?
Our very own Maggie Fowler spoke with Professor John Karras-Smith to discover the answer.
And we want to apologize for those technical difficulties, but we have Maggie here in the studio. So Maggie, explain to us why we have that break in between spring break and Easter.
It was interesting. I was actually in my communications course, and I was speaking to John Carey Smith, who's been a professor here and resident of Oswego for over 35 years, and he was explaining that students have gotten so bad on St. Patrick's Day, which is March 17th, right in between the two. We've been banished. There's an unofficial agreement among the school and the town that we will never be here on St. Patrick's Day because it's just as bad as Bridge Street Run, which is unfortunate. But
You know, that's really interesting because I actually heard that from one of my friends, and I live in Oswego, and I mentioned that to my dad, and he's like, that doesn't make any sense. That's not true. So I'm going to go home and tell him that Maggie Fowler said that it is true.
yeah, you can prove I'm wrong now.
All right. Well, thank you very much, Maggie.
Thank you, guys.
Congress returns from spring break on Monday, and immigration reform tops the agenda.
Senators on both sides of the aisle make up the Gang of Eight, which is preparing to release its long-awaited plan for resolving the status of some 11 million undocumented men, women, and children currently living in the United States. Christina Muchler has the story.
The time is now for immigration reform.
More than 1,000 immigrants and supporters rallied in New Jersey to send a message to Capitol Hill. When Congress returns this week, 8 senators, 4 Republicans and 4 Democrats, are set to deliver a bipartisan immigration reform proposal that includes a 13-year path to citizenship.
We don't want this bill to be, 53 Democrats and just a handful of Republicans, because we need broad bipartisan support, particularly to get a bill done in the House.
If we'll give them a pathway to citizenship that's earned and hard and fair, get in the back of the line, pay taxes, learn the English language, then the Democratic Party has to give us a guest worker program to help our economy. That's what we're arguing over.
Democratic Congressman Rush Holt, who participated in the weekend rally, said he has concerns about the guest worker program.
If there is going to be something like that, it's got to be structured in such a way that we don't denigrate and commit to a second-class status. Workers.
The plan also may meet resistance from wary conservatives who may view it as a form of amnesty for those who enter the country illegally. A group of House members also is working on a bipartisan immigration reform plan. And there is one thing Republicans and Democrats in both the House and Senate seem to agree on.
All of it has to be fixed. It is broken from A to Z. We have to fix it.
I'm Christina Muchler reporting.
And now a full look at sports with Kyle Sheehan.
Thanks, guys. The Oswego State men's lacrosse team played a close game on Saturday against Plattsburgh, which ended in a loss 11-10 in overtime. The game looked promising for the Lakers as they led by 2 goals into the 4th period, making the score 10-8. Plattsburgh struck back early in the 4th to cut the lead by 1. 2 minutes later, the Lakers came back with a goal of their own and gave them another 2-point cushion. After that, the game was all downhill as Plattsburgh scored 2 more to take the game into overtime. Plattsburgh closed out the game by scoring with 2.5 minutes left. Overall, the Lakers are 6-3 this season as they play Potsdam on Wednesday. The Oswego State women's lacrosse team also lost this Saturday against Cortland to bring their record below 50% at 4-5. Cortland took a commanding lead in the first half as the score was 6-1. Maria DeFato recorded 5 goals for the Red Dragons as she scored 2 back-to-back goals in the first half. In the second half, it was still a one-sided game as Cortland added 9 more goals to punish the Lakers 15-5. Hopefully the Lakers will have better luck on Tuesday against the Buffalo State Bengals. Syracuse men's basketball was a hot topic this weekend, attempting to make their 4th NCAA championship appearance in school history. Let's take a close look at the Final Four game against Michigan. There's Jim Boeheim making his 4th NCAA appearance. Michigan led Syracuse going 36-25 in the half. Mitch McGarry running up the floor in the paint, leading shot 5 from 7 from the field. Syracuse didn't give up that easy as Brandon Trish made a layup to cut the lead by 8. With a little over 11 minutes to play, C.J. Fair connected with a jumper assisted by Jeremy Grant. As Michigan led by 4, Tim Hardaway makes a wide-open 3 to give their team a more comfortable lead. Syracuse didn't let that affect them as C.J. Fair hits another jumper to diminish the lead by 3. With a little under 4 minutes left in the game, Tim Hardaway Jr. finds Mitch McGarry at the foul line and makes the shot to record a double-double. A little under a minute, Brandon Trish drives to the basket and makes a layup while receiving a foul from Trey Burke. Trish misses the 3-point opportunity, unfortunately. Syracuse comes back again with James Sutherland connecting a 3 to make it a 1-point game with 28 seconds left. With a little under 10 seconds to play, Syracuse tries to make a quick layup but could not finish. Tim Hardaway made the offensive rebound, which went the other way quickly to Jordan Morgan to finish off the game with a dunk. Michigan outlasted Syracuse 61-56 to advance to the NCAA Finals against Louisville tomorrow night at 9:23. That is it for sports. Now back to the desk.
We will be right back after the break.
But first, take a look at what's happening in Oz.
We are the Tigers from Pack 885. And you are watching WTOP. Yeah.
Oswego MBA program, helping you achieve your goals with a customized curriculum developed with flexibility in mind. Take classes year-round, full or part-time in Oswego, online or at the Metro Center in downtown Syracuse. More information is available online or by calling 315-312-2911.
This country is going to the dogs. Well, not really, but according to the Humane Society of the United States, there are approximately 78 million dogs and 86 million cats owned by Americans.
And many owners claim to sleep with their pets. Is this a healthy idea? It all depends. Here's Susan Hendricks with today's Health Minute.
Right, Mr. Hudson.
Keeping track of stuff.
Guarding the house.
I like to spread out and stretch across the bed. That's certainly hard to do when he's lying right next to you. Off of her, like a year and a half or something.
Hanging off the bed thing.
Yeah. No.
David gets in his spot, I get in my spot, and the best case scenario is then Hudson's in the middle. But sometimes if then David gets up to go brush his teeth, of course, then Hudson will move into his spot. They're hard. But I think that was one of the reasons.
It's by and large a safe activity, but the pet needs to be healthy.
I came to take the dogs for a walk. I was like, oh, I'm sorry, they have a TV appearance.
We call that sleep fragmentation, and you tend to be less rested, tend to be less alert. The ability to concentrate is diminished, memory may be impaired.
Come on, Liv. Livia, come. No.
She said yes. This was no Jedi mind trick at a Star Wars exhibition in Orlando, Florida on Saturday. Celeste Ramirez's boyfriend, Andre Pemberton, surprised her with a marriage proposal. She was stunned, but accepted faster than Han Solo could make the Kessel Run. That's a Star Wars joke if you didn't catch that.
I don't know what to think, except I'm just so happy, and this is so amazing.
Relieved. I've been worried about, how it was going to go all day. I'm just glad she's not force choking me.
Now, after the proposal, the happy couple got to hang out with Darth Vader and C-3PO. Hopefully, wait for it, the Force will be with this couple.
Is a birthday celebration that could make even the youngest daredevil's heart race, but not for Marion Strangler of Pensacola. This woman is celebrating her 90th birthday by skydiving with her 2 sons. Once the time came, Marion was surprisingly relaxed as she jumped out of the airplane at 14,000 feet in the air. According to Marion, skydiving was a one-time deal, but she did become the oldest person ever to jump at Emerald Coast skydiving.
Now, in case you didn't know, Saturday was International Pillow Fight Day. A group called Bandidos Misteriosos, that is a mouthful, organized this Boston pillow fight in a local park. More than 140 cities were expected to take part all over the world. Bandidos Misteriosos says more than 1,200 people in Boston participated in last year's pillow fight, making it the second largest gathering of the day. Fighters were encouraged to bring their pillows, non-feathered filled, to parks in their cities and let loose.
The trees don't seem to know it, but this weekend is the annual Cherry Blossom Festival's Peak Bloom Weekend in Washington, D.C. The blooms aren't as open as the National Park Service hoped when it made the Sears Peak Bloom prediction. Shy flowers or not, people are still enjoying the festival's events from tours to water activities. Every year, horticulturists try to predict when D.C.'s famous Yoshino cherry trees will have 70% or more of their flowers blooming. The dates vary each year. And before we say goodnight, here's one final look at your forecast with meteorologist Michael Paney.
All right, yeah, cool start tomorrow, but as we head towards the afternoon, temperatures will rise into the mid to lower 50s. Though as we head towards the evening, I'm expecting a little bit of wet weather to move into the area from west to east. And as we head to tomorrow night into Tuesday, I'm thinking we may be dodging a few raindrops for our Tuesday classes.
As long as the weather is 50 degrees or above, I'm happy. Especially, like I said earlier, we've already had snow in April, so it can only get better from here, or at least that's what I'm hoping.
That's true, but I mean, it is Oswego, so
This is Oswego.
wouldn't be
We'll
surprised
have
if
to
there's
keep
snow
our
in
fingers
July.
crossed, but I think right now it looks like we'll be in a warming trend.
Good.
Now, my question for you guys is, were you able to catch the second annual Oswego Hunger Games today? It aired on WTOP?
Unfortunately, I was not able to. Studying,
Of course.
Yep.
I caught it, and I'd say it was a lot of fun. I guess I broke away from the library of my studies to catch a few minutes of it, and it looked like everybody in it was really having a good time.
Yes, now this year's winner came from Waterbury, last year's was from Johnson. I have to say it was a pretty intense time. It lasted much shorter than last year. Last year's was about an hour, but this year's was only about 15 minutes. So it just shows kind of the competitive drive our students have to be victorious, I guess.
I guess so.
Seems like they got a strategy before they come into the game.
Yes. But Oswego, sorry, WTOP had some great coverage for that. Joe Noel and Jared Lam covered the games with John Mongello and Chris Lewand doing the sideline reports. And like I said, all the contestants seemed to be very into it. It was a good time. I heard that they raised over $1,000. So hopefully that'll be all sent to some good use.
I actually heard that the biggest donation was $300.
Yes. The biggest donation was $300, and that was to buy an extra life for one of the contestants. One of the parents bought their children an extra life for $300.
How very nice of them.
My parents wouldn't do that for me.
That's commitment right there.
And that is sad. And that will do it for us here for the entire 10 News team. I'm Alan Wenger.
And I'm Christina Deem. Stay tuned for the rundown. Good night, Oswego.